America's top diplomat in Ukraine has aired claims that the US president cares more about a political investigation than his country's relationship with the Ukraine. William Taylor is testifying on Capitol Hill. It's the first public hearing as part of the impeachment investigation into Donald Trump. Mr. Taylor's opening statement contained new information he says he learned just 5 days ago. He claims a member of his staff heard President Trump ask a top-ranking diplomat about the, quote, investigations into his potential political rival Joe Biden and his son Hunter.
The member of my staff could hear President Trump on the phone asking Ambassador Sondland about the investigations. Ambassador Sondland told President Trump the Ukrainians were ready to move forward. Following the call with President Trump, the member of my staff asked Ambassador Sondland what President Trump thought about Ukraine. Ambassador Sondland responded that President Trump cares more about the investigations of Biden, which Giuliani was pressing for.
Ambassador Taylor also raised concerns about Donald Trump's approach to Ukraine policymaking.
In a regular NSC secure video conference call on July 18th, I heard a staff person from the Office of Management and Budget say that there was a hold on security assistance to Ukraine, but could not say why. In an instant, I realized that one of the key pillars of our strong support for Ukraine was threatened. The irregular policy channel was running contrary to the goals of long-standing U.S. policy.
The White House says Donald Trump isn't watching the public hearings, but he is actively retweeting people who are criticising proceedings.
The most interesting thing that is new information from Bill Taylor directly ties President Trump to this whole notion of a quid pro quo. Now, just for context, so far we've heard a lot about Rudy Giuliani's role in this so-called shadow foreign policy. He's, of course, the president's personal lawyer. Also about Mick Mulvaney, the acting chief of staff. There's been very little that actually links Trump directly to what the Democrats are alleging. Now, here is Bill Taylor highlighting a new piece of information that directly implicates the president.
The member of my staff could hear President Trump on the phone asking Ambassador Sondland about the investigations. Ambassador Sondland told President Trump the Ukrainians were ready to move forward. Following the call with President Trump, the member of my staff asked Ambassador Sondland what President Trump thought about Ukraine. Ambassador Sondland responded that President Trump cares more about the investigations of Biden, which Giuliani was pressing for.
Now, he also said that President Trump had essentially demanded this meeting and aid being withheld was essentially an exchange for that meeting, that announcement into a public investigation of Joe Biden be made on television, on CNN, is what Bill Taylor was actually outlining there, and that essentially everything depended on that happening, everything being the aid and also a White House meeting. So it outlines really a very clear quid pro quo, but also Bill Taylor in his testimony has said that the president said that none of this was a quid pro quo, which is really the phrase that has been bandied around so much in this investigation so far. But overall, his testimony has been clear, it's been concise, and it has been pretty damning in terms of outlining what he saw. He says he sat in astonishment when he was told that military aid, so crucial to Ukraine, who is, of course, vulnerable to Russia, and when he heard that that aid was going to be withheld, he sat in astonishment. He considered resigning over what was going on with Ukraine.